Hello and welcome to Sovereign RPG. I am Sovereign and today we have a message from Netease, specifically Nero Augustus. He has been very kind to give us his opinion and why Netease have decided to do the 30-day login reward system. Now before we actually get into the meat and potatoes of this, for me it's very weird for a dev team to actually speak about their personal opinions on something. I've not seen many games where they actually do this, so we actually are seeing something for the first time. I myself am seeing something for the first time. And they've done it time and time again throughout this development where they've opened up and showed us their actual opinions on the way things are going and where they're going. So I do have to thank them for that. So Nero talks about how hesitant he was to make and talk about the subject, to make this post. And he goes over basically exactly what my thoughts were from the beginning of the game, since I started playing it from the beginning. He talks about how being a die-hard EVE Online fan, which he is, and has been, so has Exile, that side of them really wants to have a more EVE Online-like experience. The same as many of us who have played EVE Online. We've all talked about making it easier will destroy the game, from our personal opinions. But I really don't think that that's what's going to happen. Nero goes on to talk about how proud he is of the community, but he's also aware that our community, the EVE Online community, can frighten off newcomers, which is true. It happens daily in the Echo's Discord. I see it all the time. EVE Online players have a different way of looking at things, have a different way of dealing with things. And EVE Online has been known to breed the worst trolls in gaming existence. Some of you may agree with that, some of you may not, but I've definitely met way worse people within the EVE Online community than I've met in any other MMO community I've ever played, including World of Warcraft. And he goes on to say after various beta tests, it's clear to them to see that newcomers had a hard time catching up and often lose interest while doing so. As a result, they made the 30-day login rewards, and he's gone into detail about some of the decisions they made in these 30-day login rewards. So first he goes on about the Yangjung ships and the T5 trainer. And they did that because they want newcomers to have a fighting chance and not to feel insecure when roaming the vast universe. He goes on to try to get to the veteran players, saying that they can relate when they first started EVE and how hard it was for them, and how having a ship that matches your tech level is incredibly difficult as a beginner anyway. So they decided to implement a feature to ensure newcomers can feel the joy of piloting ships in presence of powerful battlecruisers and cruisers piloted by the veterans. And he talks about how there should be some game balance and its influence on the manufacturing industry, and they've kept that in mind. So they've customized the trainers that have been given out to be weaker than the ships of the same tech level. This way the veterans can retain their advantages while the newcomers can feel comfortable exploring the EVE universe. They go into a detailed demonstration of how the feature actually works. So when compared to a standard cruiser, a trainer is about 80% of its strength, while a battlecruiser prototype is about 55% of the standard battlecruiser's strength. And they also go on to say that they do understand the existence of trainers will have an impact on the manufacturing industry. In order to counter the issue, they've made adjustments to the production rate of data cores and ship debris. Based on their estimation, the T5 trainers do create a negative impact on the manufacturing industry, but its benefit to the overall experience and retention rate of new players is undeniable. Now, in my opinion, that makes no sense. The game, and this is just me looking at it as an EVE Online player, and you'll see the most loud voices in this game, the ones that don't want anything to be made easy, are EVE Online players. But we kind of have to get to the understanding that the game's not really being made for EVE Online players. It's being made to bring new players into the EVE franchise. We cannot expect them to deal and make every fantasy and whim of the EVE Online community a dream come true. Not just the limitations of the game, but the fact that the game is so hardcore that it would turn away a lot of potential gamers. The mobile industry isn't about the long term, which is why it's going to be so difficult for EVE Echo's dev team to bring that retention to a new level, to make sure players are staying here for a long time, and they believe doing these 30-day login rewards have a much better performance output when it comes to keeping people engaged. Now, I might not 100% agree with that, because I believe after a certain amount of time, you're going to have things like, we'll go on about it a bit later when we get to the actual insurance vouchers and how I feel it won't actually help newer players. So let's get back to the ships. The Cannu prototype, the current model, is slightly more powerful than we intended. Adjustments will be made before the official launch. Now, even if it's slightly more powerful than they intended, the actual, they're saying it's weak to combat. They're saying it's a collectible. Even if they say it's only slightly more powerful than it should be, it's still going to be really fucking powerful. Even if they only drop it down by a smidgen, they'd have to get rid of everything on that ship for it to be known as a collectible and not be used as a primary ship. They do say it has a much lower performance output than a ship that was manufactured for 30 days, and they are untradeable. Now, just because they are untradeable does not mean anything. If there is a way in the game to get insurance vouchers, you can get these ships back. Now, I don't know if there's a timer or if they're going to be giving out insurance vouchers in the future, but I don't see why they wouldn't. You could collect those insurance vouchers and go to the kill mail and repair the ship. I don't know if there's a 30-day timer, I don't know if there's a 40-day timer, 6-month timer, 5-minute timer. I don't know if there's any. This is just speculation, but you could keep bringing this non-tradable ship back. It says the prototype is more of a collectible item that has zero impact on our manufacturing industry, and I don't see how that's possible. They also go on to tell you how and why they made the ship claimable after becoming Omega. Please rest assured this is not a pay-to-win ploy, and I don't understand a lot of the people who are against pay-to-win aspects in this game or against selling of ships and stuff like that. There's no way you can win the argument by saying adding this ship to Omega isn't pay-to-win. For people like me who are more open-minded, I can see that this isn't a pay-to-win mechanic, but I'm really on a different level of pay-to-win mechanics. I play strategy games on mobile. I was buying $100 loot boxes daily. I know how much money I can put into a game, and that makes it pay-to-win. So I have a different level threshold of what pay-to-win actually is. But pay-to-win is always different for different people. They actually made all the ships claimable as an alpha. However, they noticed that players would create new accounts just to claim these ships and discard the account afterwards. But if they're not tradable, that wouldn't matter if they claim the ships or not and deleted the account afterwards or not, because they can't create loads and loads of accounts and trade the ship to an account that actually has the skills for it. Now, they do say that they don't need skills to fly it, but they don't need skills to fly it just because it's a faction ship, which is the same as all faction ships. The only tier level required is to build the actual ship. So if you have a tier 10 guy building you a faction battleship, you are starting as a new player, you can fly that tier 10 battleship with no skills, but you can still fly it. Is that what they mean? Now, I don't want to sound like I'm just going and banging on about how the game is going to start becoming bad, because I don't believe that. I'm going to be putting a lot of money, I'm going to be putting a lot of effort, I'm going to be putting all my content will be on and surrounding this game. I love the way this game is going. Just finding some elements to be a little bit on the side of not what I would like, but that's not going to stop me at all. So please bear in mind that I am not shitting on the game. Now, they do say that this type of action with putting the ships on the alpha side of the login rewards will create quite a significant impact on the game, and they wish to abolish that kind of activity by making ships claimable for Omega only. As long as you produce at a normal pace, even without recharging, reaching 170 plex and claiming these rewards is entirely feasible. So they are actually saying it's not going to be from day 1 to day 30 that these rewards will be. It'll be whenever you start Omega, you will start getting the prizes, and whether you catch up to those days, I'm not sure, or whether it's just something that you get, again, I'm not entirely sure. So let's get into the insurance vouchers included in the login rewards. Is also based on the statistics we've acquired from the beta tests. The amount is sufficient to sustain the survival of newcomers in the early game. Repairing a T5 trainer requires 4 insurance vouchers. The Jan Yu, which is the toenail, requires 8, and the Can Yu, which is the half a ship, requires 16. Now you will get 24 with the login rewards, and that's not including all of the insurance vouchers, and you get quite a few from the advanced tutorials and the beginners tutorial. You do actually get some insurance vouchers, but if you have the 24, you could claim and repair that T5 trainer twice. If you repair it any more than twice, you will not be able to repair the Can Yu with the 30-day login amount of insurance vouchers. But you could also repair this trainer over and over and over again, depending on how many times and how many events they'll be giving out these insurance vouchers. We just don't know yet. Now, he talks about, as a developer, the above concludes the reason why we implemented the 30-day login rewards. However, as a veteran player himself, he would like to talk about how he feels about these features. And I'm going to read this word for word as it is a personal opinion of his. During my decade-old gaming experience playing EVE, I've tried the role of merchant, pirate hunter, and manufacturer. In recent years, I've been playing as super capital ship manufacturer and a supplier for alliances. I could still remember the first 2 days of my EVE journey. I joined a band of newcomers under the wings of a corporation. Some aspired to become a pirate, some wanted to pilot a Titan, and some were only trying to game out. But for reasons unknown, I ended up being the sole player remaining in that corp. On numerous occasions, even I sprouted the idea of departure after seeing so many friends leaving. Eventually, I became a developer for Exile, honing my skills to one day develop a game that can carry the spirit of EVE. Right as this project is established, we've set ourselves a goal: to expand the fan base of EVE and spread the joy of being part of this community by creating an EVE world that is inclusive, vibrant, and engaging. And I, personally, Sovereign's opinion, agree that they are doing that. They are doing just that. Everything that they have done so far is not pushing away new players. Some of these choices are pushing away EVE Online players, but most of us understand what they are trying to do. I feel that they're doing it correctly. How do you feel they're doing it? Let me know down below if you think they're going too far for the newer players and not doing enough for the EVE Online players. Let me know if you think I'm just being an idiot by accepting what they've said. Now, I haven't accepted it fully. There are some things that I still would argue with, but I'm really happy and I'm really proud of what the team are doing in this game. EVE Echoes is definitely something to look out for, and definitely something that you should be willing to put your time into. Even if you don't put any money into it, alphas will still get a very good experience, contradictory to what a lot of people are saying in the EVE Echoes Discord. Now, if you don't like any of these ideas, if you don't like anything that these people are saying, if you don't like the direction the dev team are going, go to the EVE Echoes Discord. Write in my comments. Write how you feel. I will put these messages in the actual suggestion channel myself. I have done on multiple videos. If you ask me to do it, I will do it. Maybe you aren't in a Discord, maybe you don't like Discord, but I will pass this information on for you. I'm an official content creator for EVE Echoes. I'm no longer a moderator. With time constraints for my channel, and I have children now, 2 of them. So the time that I have to create things and actually play the game is very limited. So I can't cut in with being a moderator anymore. But I still can contact and speak to the devs. So please let me know. Fly safe and avoid local chat scams.